Hello, people out there, and welcome back to yet another exciting episode of Seek Your Purpose. This is your host for the show, Mayank Sera. Now, before we proceed ahead with today's episode, if you have not yet done so, then please hit that subscribe or follow button on the app which you're listening to and help us reach out to the maximum by rating and reviewing us on Apple Podcast and Spotify. Now, let's get started with today's episode. I want to start this episode with a real yet absurd concept that most people they fear to face, or they even fail to give it a thought throughout their lifetime. A concept that we all know is inevitable, but we still consider a taboo or something that is not to be discussed openly with your friends or families. We don't even want to talk about it as we are utterly scared of it, although we know that it's going to happen to all of us one day. The concept is death. Yes, death. Now hold on for a moment and recall the very first emotion you encountered when you heard me saying the word death. The very first emotion you felt when you heard me saying that. Don't run away from it. Simply recall and feel the emotion. What is it? Is it fear? Pain, suffering, guilt, sorrow, sadness, grief? What is it? What is it? And try to be honest here. Try to be honest in accepting the emotion which you just encountered. And let me take this moment and the medium of this podcast to openly express my emotion when I heard the word death in the recent days. And that emotion is of unfulfillment. Yes, unfulfillment. Unfulfillment of me not making big in life. Unfulfillment of me not living a purposeful life which I'm trying to build with every single day, with every passing moment. Unfulfillment of what if I fail to contribute my fair share of giving it back to the nature. Unfulfillment of failure to create a positive yet inspiring dent in this universe. Unfulfillment of me unable to contribute to my closed ones who are truly responsible for shaping the way I am. Unfulfillment of failing to create a personal story, a personal brand which is worth remembering and moving. And he has a lot of unfulfilling other desires of traveling the entire world, visiting almost every other country, staying in the exotic locations, exploring these places like a local for days, seeking motivation from even the random street art, capturing unseen stills from my DSLR, making memories out of it, exploring the world like a nomad, like a banjara, like an avara, and creating something like a content or anything that I'll be proud of creating in this universe in which is going to stay even if I'm long gone from this world. While I was doing this exercise of getting hold of my emotion when I heard the word death, all I was left with this feeling of being unfulfilling in this world. And when I further went deep inside of what sort of unfulfillment I'm really scared of or fearful most about, I discovered this amazing phrase that changed my perspective towards life in a much deeper sense. And the phrase goes like this: how do I want to be remembered as in this world when I am long gone? How do I want society to perceive me as a human figure? How do I want people to remember me or remember as? How do I want my personal story to sound in society? What impact do I want to leave in this world for generations to come? What is it? What is it? It's a powerful yet extremely impactful question to ponder upon if done with all the goodness you put along with while figuring this out. And what I figured out of myself is surely not going to be remembered as someone who is associated with a so-and-so company at a so-and-so level. I don't want to be remembered as an employee. I'm not much vocal about being a part of this 9 to 5 or 9 to 6 regular job lifestyle, although I don't have any personal grudges against any employer, but I don't get the required motivation to look forward to what I have in store for myself in the upcoming days. Rather, when it's about sitting with self, working on self-awareness, directing my time towards self-growth while reading books, listening to podcasts, exploring interviews of amazing personality, then creating content, especially a podcast or a reel, which ensures my work, my thought process, and my aura reaches out to millions of people out there, it surely gives me that much required push to come back to this space of mine and keep on exploring self and keep on continuing this endless loop of getting inspired and keep inspiring others via your content. And when I keep asking myself what I want to be remembered as or what I want to be remembered for, I simply start working on whatsoever I feel like doing. I create it and I leave it for the world to decide and ponder upon while moving forward with the next big thing in the course. So no one is asking me to do it and nobody is forcing me to do it. I'm doing all of these out of my love, my desire and my fulfillment of this everlasting soul. In going along the way while creating what I'm creating, I try to be mindful of these important aspects as well. Is the work which I'm doing a reflection of this? Is the character that I'm putting out there in public a reflection of this? Are the various traits of my personality which I possess a reflection of this? Is my appearance, my behavior, my communication and my digital image a reflection of this? Think for a moment. Remember, the clock doesn't go forever and no one is going to create the life for you. You have to do it for yourself. So what are you waiting for? We all have a limited time available in this beautiful, charismatic world which has so much to offer only when you possess a personality which is agile, optimistic and resilient. So to end this episode, I want to leave you with a question of asking yourself time and again, how do I want to be remembered as in this universe once I'm long gone? And here's how I want to be remembered as in this universe. I want people to remember Mayank as someone who is confident, humble, grateful, inspiring, calm, approachable, intellectual, blessed, visionary, loving, caring, artistic, purposeful, motivator, exciting, and a generous human being. So sharing a link with you all here of my raw work which I did when I answered this question of how do I want to be remembered as in this universe once I'm long gone. So once you discover it, then do share it with me on your Instagram, your Facebook, your LinkedIn at Mayank Sehra, MAYANKSEHRA. And I would love to hear you out. I would love to see your idea of how do you want to be remembered as once you're long gone. So let's grow all together in this purposeful journey of impacting lives of billions of people. So if you love this episode which I shared with you just now, the concept that I shared with you, then do help it in reaching out to more of such purpose seekers by rating and reviewing us on Apple Podcast and Spotify and following the show on the app which you're listening to. Now, let's step out of that comfort zone of yours. Let's break it apart and let's seek the purpose which you are destined to in this universe, my friend. Stay purposed. Cheers.